Hello beautiful people, you're welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, you're welcome. If you're an old subscriber, welcome back and thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, we're going to be learning how to make the cobweb or spider web fascinator. This is the new type of fascinator which I feel I should share with you guys the process. So I'm going to introduce you to the materials we need. Okay, so the first material we'll be needing is our millinery wire or hard wire. Okay, we need a plier, we need a glue, UHC glue, we need a plastic headband, we have trimmings. This is a shiny trimmings, and we need a ready-made cap. This can be bought from a millinery store. We need a sequence fabric. This is what I'm going to be using to cover up my cap. And this important material you're seeing here is called dot. That's D-O-T. I don't know if it has other names or it's being called another name at other locations, but this is what I was told where I got it from. I got this from a millinery store that's where they sell hat making materials. You can get this from where they sell materials used for decorating. So it is called dot. It might be called another name at your location. If you have come across this before and you know the name it is being called, please let me know in the comment section. Just leave a comment below. Thank you so much. So I have this, it's sold in packs, in pieces. So I bought a quite number of pieces for you to be able to finish up this project. So I'm going to start by wrapping. I'll cover up my molded base. I'll do that behind the camera. I have a video that shows how to cover up a base in this channel, so you can just check my other videos. My millinery wire cut out in pieces, and each of this piece is 18 inches. Yes, 18 inches. Yours could be lesser, it could be 16. You could make it up to 19 inches depending on how wide you want your brim to be. Okay, so I have this wire in 6 places. I have 6 pieces of this hat wire, 18 inches. So now I'm going to be using my trimmings. I'm going to be using it to wrap my wire, okay, using my UHC glue. So I'll just go ahead and use my trimmings to wrap my wire using my UHC glue. I'll apply a little glue, I'll let it dry a little, and then I'm going to wrap the wire. That's the 6 of them. Okay, so starting from the tip of the wire, I just placed my glue and I placed the trimmings after the glue is dry a little, and I press it down right there. It has to be really neat at this point and smooth. So I just place it right there and wrap the trimmings over the wire. I'm going to be pulling the trimmings while wrapping it over the wire. It has to be really firm or else it may actually loosen up. So with the help of your glue and with your fingers, you can do it perfectly by just wrapping over and then pulling it, making it firm and smooth. So I'll be doing that to all the 6 pieces. You can decide to use any material to do yours. You can cut a little piece of this kind of material. This is sequence fabric. I use it to wrap your own wire. Alright, at this point, I'm done wrapping all my wires with my trimmings. I have 6 of them wrapped, and now I'm going to just keep them one side. Please make sure that the ends of the wires are well wrapped, okay? And you will notice that after wrapping them, the wires are still bendable. Now remember the length of the wire is about 18 inches. Now I'm going to get the half of it, which is 9 inches. Okay, so at the center of each of the wire, I'm going to be crossing them over like this. To make it easier, you can actually use a chalk or anything to mark the center of each of the wire before you start arranging or before you continue with this process. So I placed 2 of the wires together at the center. I created like a multiplication sign right there, and I'm using my needle and matching color of thread to sew through, okay, just to keep them in place. I'll just use a thread take it over it, sew through like that until it is firm enough to stand alone. Okay. If you're new to my channel, welcome once again. If you're here to join the family, please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification. Just hit the bell button beside the subscribe button. It's the all notification option so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. And help me like this video please, so that it will reach a larger audience. Thank you so much. So you can see me take my thread over and over again, sewing through like that just to make it firm. Now I'm going to place the next piece of wire. I'm trying to get the center of the wire, okay, which is this, and I'm going to place it on it like this, okay, over it like that, and I'm going to sew through. I'm going to take my needle and thread many times like I did the other time. So I'll just go over it like that, take it through until it is firm. Okay, I'll just keep on arranging my wires like this. You know, the first one was like a multiplication sign. I added the other one to form a plus sign. I added the next one like that. You know, just to form something like a spider web. Okay, that's a concept. So I'll just make sure I take my needle and thread through. You can see that I'm using a matching color of thread. That way it will look neat. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and arrange like that. As you can see, press it down with my fingers while I sew, or take my needle and thread through multiple times. And at this point I'm done. I have the dot material here, so they are in pieces like this. I bought them in pieces like this. So what I'm going to be doing now is to join the ends of each of them together. There's a thin wire in it, okay, there's a thin wire in it, so it makes it easier for us to be able to join the ends together. So we just place the two pieces together like this and wrap their tips onto each other. That way it will be joined together. So I'll be doing that for all of them so I can have a very long one. Okay guys, at this point I have the a long strip of dots. Okay, so I'll start by wrapping the tip of the dot over one of the wires. Okay, I'll just wrap it like this and press it down to make it firm. That's a starting point. Wrap it over like 2 or 3 times to make it firm. Okay, after which I'm going to continue to wrap over each of the wires side by side. Okay, so I'll be wrapping over onto the next wire like this. Just wrap over each of the wires like this. Okay, can you see? I pull the dot while doing this. I'll wrap over like that till I go round. Okay, so I've gotten to the starting point now, and what I will just do is to move about an inch away from the previous line for us to proceed. Okay, I'll just move away like that, about an inch away, and I'll continue to wrap like that. Okay, at this point, I've completed the second line. I'm going to move about an inch away from that point. Okay, and move on to the third line. Okay, like that. So that is just how I'm going to continue to wrap this piece of dot round the wires like that till I finish up. You notice that the wire bends towards you while you're wrapping. It's actually fine, but you can control it so that it doesn't bend too much, because at some point I discovered my own was more than what I expected. Okay, but I didn't just want to losing back. It's just for the purpose of this training, you know. But make sure that it doesn't bend too much. You can just control it by pulling it backwards while you're wrapping over. I hope you understand. So I'm going to end my dot right there by crossing it over to the next wire like this, and wrap what is left over like this, like 2 or 3 times. So you can just cut off the excesses, if any. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use my pliers to cut off the excess wire. Please be very careful here, okay? Be very careful so that you don't just make some having rough edges right there. I'll go ahead and cut off all the excess wires you can see, and we'll move on to the next and the final step. Like I said earlier, please do not make yours bend too much as this. I discovered that later on, and I didn't want to loosen it up, okay, since I was almost completing the video. So please make sure you observe that part. Do not make it bend as much as this so that it will look really beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to finish up by placing my base. I'll place my base under it. You know, we need something to be able to have this held onto the edge. So I'm using my matching color of thread as well, and I'm using it to tack it to my web brim. I'll just take my thread and needle multiple times to tack firmly, and after which I'm going to be adding my Harley's band, or whatever you want to use. You can go ahead and add that. Probably you want to use elastic. You can also decide to embellish with flowers, or embellish with whatever you want to embellish your cobweb fascinator or alternator with. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found this helpful. Please let me like, share, and leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in our next video. Bye.